So welcome back, and I've just made necessary changes in the material master setting so that we get the standard uh, valuation classes back. So let me show you how those options are, what those options are, and when you want to create another material with the values taken from the material that we just created, you can use the copy from field to enter that material number which we just created so that the values can be automatically copied. So here just enter check the material number. I think it was 892,941. Okay. So enter the value here 941. Press enter. Select the same set of 5 views. Enter the plant. Now if you want to copy the plant specific data, then you can use these fields. Copy the data. If you don't want to copy the plant specific data, you only want to copy the material specific data, don't enter anything in the copy from for plant and storage location. Click continue and it will copy the data. Like I told you, the material specific data will be copied. This is the new material number. So maintain the data required for this new material. Purchasing group will not be copied, and you can, if you want, you can change the purchasing value key here. The client data storage. Now press enter, I get the standard views. So these are the valuation classes that I'm talking about, 3000, 3001. So you can select either one here and select the price control as standard and enter some price here. Save. So like this, you can create as many material as are required for your practice. Copying the data from the previous plant also can be done. So all you need to do now is to change the material description and any other data which is relevant for your material, for the new material. So, right. So in this way, I can create as many material. Create at least 3 to 4 material for your initial practice, right? Once the data is maintained, when you want to use that material, you want to change the material data. How to change it? We'll see in a little while. Let's just make the entry here. Standard. Make some. Now, after the material is created, if you want to add any views to that particular material, you can enter that material number here. Select those additional views. Enter the plant storage location. It will directly take you to the relevant view for which the data was not maintained earlier. So since we did not enter the storage location earlier, I'm just going to create it again. Now this is how the material is created for immediate use or immediate activation. For future dated, the transaction code is MM11. You enter the transaction code MM11 in the command box. The screen looks almost the same except for an additional field here called change schedule for. So here you're going to enter the date on which you want the material to be activated. So whatever date you select, the system will activate the material only on that date. So let's say I create the material and then I'm going to show you what is the effect of the scheduled creation of material. So again, the data is the same that you're going to enter, there is no difference. Here I'm going to just say future dated and maintain the same data. use the valuation class 3001 standard price, and I'm going to specify some data. Now, along with this, I can also use the future price field to enter a price which will be automatically updated on the specified date. Whether you are creating the material for a future date or you are creating the material for immediate activation, this field can be used in both cases to specify a future price change from a specified date in case the data is already available, right? So pressing enter. Now when I created the material earlier in MM01, we got the message material number so and so created. But now when I save the data, I get the information data will be scheduled for so and so date. And if I try to use this new material as the reference to create a new material, let's see what's going to happen. System will give me an error saying the reference material does not exist because this material is not yet activated. It will only be activated on the 15th when a specific transaction is executed. Okay. So once the material is created, sometimes you want to change the data. So in the future or at any time when you want to change the data, then the change can also be carried out in two ways. Either you can do it for immediate change or you can schedule changes for a material. First one will see immediate changes, and then 02, enter the material number, select the views where you want to make the change, enter the plant, storage location for which the changes have to be made, and make the necessary changes. Whatever change you want to make those changes, and the effect will be immediately updated. The changes will be immediately done. So here I'm going to change the purchasing value key. Now I can change any fields data except for the valuation price for the current date. In MM02, I cannot change the valuation price for immediate change. I can use the future price to make the future price change effective to the next day, not for today, not for the current date. Okay. Now, what if I want to make the valuation price change for immediate date? And for that, we use the transaction code MR21, enter the current date, the company code, the plant, specify. Okay, if this is the error that you're getting, just give me 1 moment, please. There was a slight issue in the configuration because of which we could not do that. Now that I've corrected it, we go back to MR21. In the real time, you'll not have any such issues. So when I press enter, I get to see the screen. I enter the material number. If I remember the valuation price, I can simply enter the new valuation price. If I don't remember, then you can just press enter and it will show me the current valuation price, and you just enter the new valuation price and save it. The price will be automatically updated in the material master. If you want to schedule the changes, you go to MM12, enter the material number, specify the date on which you want the changes to be scheduled, to be changed. Not a past date, you have to give a future date. Select the views where you want the changes to be done. Let's say I take a different material here and enter the plant, store location. For now, just leave this valuation type field blank. I'll cover this concept later and make the necessary changes to be scheduled for a future dated change. I'm just going to make some entries and changes. Again, here also the price cannot be scheduled for a future date because we already have this field, right? You can't save. Now you get the message, data will be scheduled for 13/8. Now, on the 13th or any time before the 13th, if you want to activate those changes, then you have to execute this transaction and then 13 to activate the changes. Now remember, whether if you want to activate it before the schedule date, then you are going to execute it as and when you require those data to be activated. That is, if I want those data to be activated right now, changed right now, then I'm going to execute MM13 right now, but give the date on which those changes are scheduled in the key date. Okay, so click on execute, and whatever changes have been scheduled for this material on this date, all those changes will be immediately carried out. Now, how do I know what are the changes carried out? Go to MM04 to display the changes made to the material. So enter that material number and click on execute. So all the changes which have been made to this material since the time it was created, including the creation, will be displayed. So when I click on execute, I'll see the first entry to be the latest change and the last entry to be the first creation. When I double click on this first creation, it will show me the action as entry, that is creation. So what was created? All this information was created by this user on this particular date, and if the data is specific to a particular plant, the relevant plant and storage location will also be displayed. Okay, and the next change was done using MM02 is change. This change was executed using MM13. What were the changes made? When I double click on it, it will show me action change, which is for these fields. These are the values changed. And if the change is for a specific organizational unit, it will also show me that organizational data. Okay, so like this, for any material, you can keep track of all the changes that have been made right from the time it was created, or you can use this from change date to specify a particular date from which you want to check the changes made.